Mary Lou's Cookie are now joined by head coach of Eastern Washington men's basketball, David Riley. So within 2 weeks, Eastern won the conference tournament, competed against Kansas in the NCAA tournament, and you were named head coach when Coach Leggins went to Portland. What kind of a whirlwind was that for you?
It was crazy. Usually no matter what, after a season, you take some time to reflect and relax and kind of get your bearings straight to reload for next year. Definitely didn't have a chance to do that. Kind of hit the ground running, and because Shantae, we got home Saturday night, and Monday we were meeting, and Shantae was taking the job, and we were trying to figure out the whole process. So it was a whirlwind. Just meeting with players, a lot of tough conversations, and trying to figure out what's best for everybody. But it was exciting. And then it drug on for a couple months, to be honest. Hiring a staff, filling out the roster, making sure that there are kind of guys that fit the blueprint that we've had success with, and I think that was it was definitely, it took a lot longer than I anticipated, but it was fun and a learning experience, and something I think recruiting 8 guys and hiring 3 coaches is probably something I would not want to do again. If I could avoid that, it'd be great. But I learned a lot.
I'm sure. What would you say is the most important thing that you've learned in this time?
I think just not panicking and not making rush decisions. Like every single thing that, when I took a chance to step back and really evaluate, there was nothing that had to be rushed. Whether it was recruiting a player, hiring staff. I had a good idea who I was going to hire from the jump, but just making sure that it all fit and made sense, because it's just the people are the most important thing. You can have facilities and this, that, and the other, but the people are what makes a program good and what makes a winning program. So just not rushing anything.
Yeah, you know what it takes to build a winning program. You've been at Eastern for 10 years. You've seen what it takes to cut down nets. You mentioned that blueprint. What is it that you're looking for in your staff and in that roster?
I think just guys with a chip on their shoulder that want to come in and work and have a team first attitude. Because I got here 10 years ago with Jim Hayford, and the culture was not like a winning culture. And so I've seen it kind of grow from the ground up. And, Coach Hayford brought in a really, really good foundation. We won a championship and we had things rolling. Shantae got the job. He built on that. The culture just expanded from there. And just kind of seeing the kind of guys that fit and make sense and that work here. Because it's not everyone's gonna make sense. We got guys that get in the gym. We pride ourselves on development. The last couple of years we won championships with guys that didn't have scholarship offers anywhere else. Like no one in our rotation last year had an offer coming out of high school. So, and they were all guys that came here right out of high school. They weren't transfers or anything like that. So, getting guys that want to work, want to develop, and understand it's a process is the most important thing. And then we can't get away from that just because we lose some guys. Obviously, we wouldn't got some transfers and some guys with experience, but they had to fit the mold. And I think that's been the big thing. And I got 2 pretty good mentors that I've learned from since I've been here that were there's multiple guys that I've learned from that I was assistants with too, but Shantae and Jim were guys that I was able to take a lot from.
You talk about building upon the culture and how you saw the two of them do that. What is it going to look like for you as you forge your own path as head coach?
Um, my goal really is to make it a players program and give them ownership, because that's something that Shantae did an incredible job with, whether it was assistants, knowing their role and really succeeding in what their jobs were. The players, if you watched our timeouts and our half times, it wasn't just Shantae or a coach talking the whole time. It was spurts from everybody and guys pitching in, and it wasn't, that's not interrupting necessarily, but guys jumping in conversation, and it was just back and forth, and it was sporadic, and it was good. Everyone was just bought in, and I think that's the best way we're going to do it. I'm young. There's probably guys in the league I know there's guys in the league that are coaching that know more than I do, but if we have a collective mindset as a staff and as a program, that's how we can win, and that'll be our biggest advantage. So just making sure that everyone's bought in, everyone has ownership, and everyone feels like they can contribute on or off the court.
What excites you most about the staff and the roster that you have there at Eastern?
Just the energy. It's been so much fun the last 3 weeks. We're on week 4 now of the summer, and I think the assistants have been here for 5 or 6 weeks now. The guys just got here for starting week 4, and it's so much fun. Usually like the first week, it's everyone's rah and ready to go. We've kind of kept that same energy. It's competitive. There's a lot of learning, but you walk into the gym, the music's going. Guys are always in there way before the coaches get in there, and it's just fun to see the mindset they've got, and it's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, we try to let our guys know like this. We're lucky to be able to do this. We're lucky to be able to compete and not have to work a job and do all this extra stuff this summer, which just get better at basketball. And so our guys really take that to heart, and it's been fun, and it shows by time in the gym. Guys want to get back in the gym. Guys want to come in and meet and watch film, and it's a family atmosphere, and that's something that that's been the case here. It wasn't the case 10 years ago. It just every year built on itself, and the guys that have come through the program, guys saw Parker Kelly and Tyler Harvey do it, and they were like, okay, that's how you're successful. Now I'm going to do this, and then it just kind of built on itself. So it's just kind of fun to see the culmination of all that.
Now, you mentioned a word, family. Talking about your own family, you come from a great family of coaches. Now, you're the only one in this sport. What is it about basketball for you?
Man, my brother makes fun of me. I'm the soft one of the family. They're all football coaches. My mom was not a huge football fan. She wanted her kids playing other sports. My brother ended up diving into football and breaking that off. But I think that was probably the start of it. My dad played college basketball too, and so really just spending a lot of time in the driveway shooting with him, and that's kind of why basketball for me. But then coaching wise, they were huge influences, and my grandpa, my uncle, when you go visit them and hearing their stories, and not necessarily like that, like football specific stuff, but just hearing their stories about guys that made it and underdogs and those kind of things, and how they were able to have an impact on people's lives. And then like, it was my grandpa's, I want to say 70th birthday, and I was about 10 or 11. We went up to Wallace, Idaho, and there was a reunion, and there was 50 or 60 of his ex-players that went up to a little town in Idaho to go celebrate him. And it was just cool to see all these people that he was able to affect their lives. And I was like, that's something that I can jump in on, and that seems like a great career path. If I'm lucky enough to be able to do that, then I'm going to do everything I can. So that's kind of the reason for getting into coaching.
That's very special. What would you say was the point at which you realized that you wanted to be a coach?
That's a good question. I mean, it was always in the back of my mind. I got my degree from Whitworth in math and economics, and so I was sitting there like, do I want to go make a decent amount of money right out of college, or not get paid anything and work 13 hours a day and go to school and get my master's? And it was a tough decision, and I'm not sure. My girlfriend at the time, now wife, probably was. I'm sure she was a little scared, the fact that I was turning down real jobs to go coach, but it all worked out. And I think that's just something, like I said, when I was a kid, that's always something that really I wanted to do.
Well, congratulations on this position. Well deserved, and excited to see what you build upon or continue to build upon going forward.
Appreciate it. We're excited, and go Eagles.